Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the latest and greatest female voices in the industry, from artists and songwriters to producers and managers and all women in between. Hello, friends, and welcome to Crazy Women Country. I'm Donna.
And I'm Paula, and today we have the amazing Paige Johnson with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Fantastic, thank you. I love that accent. The accent is amazing. Absolutely love it.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, yours is too. And I know you probably don't sound funny to yourself, and I don't sound funny to myself, but.
How the English accent works at last. Yes.
Yeah, it does.
I love it. Perfect. So tell us, what have you been doing during this crazy time we're all living through?
Trying to stay sane, trying not to turn into a crazy woman would be number one. No, have been quarantining back home with my family in North Carolina. I usually live in Nashville, and that's where I've been for the past 5 years. But throughout all of this, at the beginning, I was like, okay, it'll just be 3 weeks. I'll go home. It'll be great. And I'll come back, and I'll be back to work. And, here we are 8 months later, and we're still here. But it's all good. I've been able to spend a lot of time with my family back home that I don't normally get whenever I'm out on the road. And I've been able to do a lot of writing, like we were talking over Zoom, doing a lot of Zoom writes and everything like that. And I have finished more songs over the past 8 months than I have probably in the last year and a half. So it's been amazing on the creative side of things, and being able to get back to my roots. And, I live on a farm, so I've been able to ride horses and just get to relax, which is what I feel like a lot of us, wherever we are and whatever we do, I think that quarantine has brought in a little bit of just like
some chill out time, and probably a lot more family time, because obviously we've been quarantined with family or tried to get close before it all happened. So yeah, it's been good in some ways, and obviously absolutely terrible in other ways. So
I'm very much an optimist and just trying to make the sunshine out of whatever you're in. So we're looking at the bright side.
That's good. That's what we need to do. Take the good from the bad. It's always good to done.
So I know you've recently, not too long ago, had a new release out. You want to tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I put out my new single called Just Like You on October 2nd. And it's my first release in a little bit. I put out my debut single last year, and I had plans of putting out music in early spring of this year. And, we were already sitting waiting on go, and then COVID hit. And so my team and we weren't able to get together to be able to get all of the content with the music video and everything else with the single. So, and the whole world was just kind of on its head at that moment. And I looked at them and I said, I don't think this is the right time. I don't feel right about putting out music right now. And so I kind of took a breather and took a step back and waited for things to settle down a little bit. And then we were finally able to all get back together in August to record the music video for the song and kind of get everything up and running for it. And we put it out at the beginning of October. And I'm just so excited, because this is a song that I actually co-wrote with a friend of mine that I went to college with in Nashville. And it's over a year old now at this point, but it's a very special song to me. It's a nice little love song. And it's grown on me as a writer. Whenever you walk out of a room, there's songs that kind of stick out, and then there's songs that are just okay. And I know that day whenever me and Reagan wrote this song, we both left thinking this is something a little more special than just normal. And so I took it to my producer, and he quickly fell in love with it, and we took it into the studio, and it just felt right. And so I knew that this was going to be the next single to come out with it. And it's done so good. And I've loved seeing people's reactions to it. and, you know, still getting reactions every single day. It's the best part of it.
Yeah, it's a really good song actually, because it shows you two parts of the relationship, you know, where he forgets everything, and then obviously the other side where, you know, he takes on all the different aspects of the other person. Yeah, it's really, really good. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what we wanted to capture in this song, where the give and takes in relationships, and, you know, the good and the bad. And I think all of us, we screw up a lot in relationships, and none of us really ever want to admit to it. And so that's kind of what this song is just, you know, admitting to the good and the bad, and highlighting all the good things that the other person does for you that we take for granted sometimes.
It's just showing us that we're all human. We're all the same no matter what. So it's really good. I love it. It's great. Great song. Fantastic.
Absolutely. So who were some of your sheroes that inspired you to do what you're doing now?
My biggest one is Loretta Lynn. I grew up listening to a lot of classic country, so all of those ladies, Loretta, Patsy, Dolly Parton, you know, anybody who was kind of going against the grain and doing things that were out of the norm. You know, it's uncomfortable at that time, but they did so much for women in country music and just for country music in general, paving a way for people like myself to be able to be putting out music today and being able to reach a whole different audience. And so, and I still go back and listen to all of their albums all the time. I mean, it's just, they created such timeless music and stood for so many great things that really did, you know, create this whole pathway for women in country music to be able to continue to make music and write music and put out music and, you know, tour around. And it's just, I love them to death.
Yeah.
Those are some great picks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I've always been a Dolly Parton fan myself, and but so if you could talk to anyone, and I say dead or alive, and there could be more than one person, who would it be?
Oh gosh, just to sit down and listen to stories from would probably be. Oh gosh, that's hard. Oh. I was just listening to old Waylon Jennings albums, and I was talking to a friend. He's reading through his memoir right now and just hearing about all his stories. Probably a classic like that, like Waylon Jennings or Elvis Presley or Dolly Parton. I mean, anybody who has just gone through the ringer of life and really come out on the other side, making it bigger and better. And just to hear how they, you know, like what their thought processes were whenever they were going through everything from just life things to music things and everything in between. I feel like there's a lot to be learned from them and everything they've come through.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, some of them have had some really hard lives, and they've really just sort of come through and shown everybody that it doesn't matter how hard your beginnings are, you can succeed if you've got that, you know, willpower and, you know, determination to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely.
So if you could thank anyone for their support, who would it be? And you can pick more than one, because that's the first question we usually get is, can I pick more than one? So yes, please.
It's like who's watching and listening first.
Everybody on this year.
Yeah, right. The first would be my parents. I mean, I absolutely couldn't do music without them and their support. They have been there for me since the beginning. Also would be my grandpa. My grandpa actually bought me my first guitar when I was 10 years old, and was the first to kind of push me towards that next step in music, from just singing all the time to really taking and learning an instrument. And he passed away actually a few months after that. So if I could talk to him, would thank him for believing in me from the beginning in everything that I do. But family would be most important. They're the people that I turn to when I've had crap days, and they're the people who are the first ones there to celebrate the big wins that I have.
Perfect. Yeah, I think family is always most important. If they're not behind you, it makes everything a lot harder to succeed at. So having your family behind you, no matter what, is always the best people, I think.
Yeah,
really.
sure.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So Why country music? With all the genres out there, obviously you had country music when you were growing up. Wasn't there any other genres that you lean towards, or is it always going to be country music?
It's always been country music for me. I tell people with an accent like mine, you can't get away with doing much more than that. But I was raised on country music. I mean, it was normal for me to listen to Merle Haggard records and Willie Nelson records and Loretta Lynn records. Even as a 2 and 3 year old, I mean, that's just what my parents listened to. And so, for me, that was all that was really there in my juvenile mind. And my parents joke all the time. My dad's famous for always saying, well, I like both kinds of music, country and Western.
That's
It was great.
It's always been there, and it's always been that thing. And as I grew up, I found myself, seeing myself in all of the stories that are coming through in the songs and falling in love with the storytelling aspect of country music. I just think that there's no other genre that really does it kind of like country music does. And the beauty in being able to pull all of these real world experiences and being able to relate to, the common person and, creating something that justifies things that they're going through and feelings that they're feeling is just such a beautiful thing. And I love it. I couldn't do anything else.
Perfect. So how old were you when you actually realised that you wanted to write as well as just sing? Because obviously there's a lot of artists out there who don't write. A lot of the older artists don't write, and of course a lot of the newer artists do both. So what made you go towards both?
It took me a while. Like I said, I started playing guitar when I was 10, and I didn't actually start writing music until I was around 17 or 18. Which was when I moved from home and went to college in Nashville. And part of it was probably me getting to Nashville and realizing, holy crap, there are so many talented people here. And I am just like a drop in this huge ocean of people. And so I was like, all right, I need to get my crap together and figure this whole thing out. But I feel like for the longest time, I never wrote just because I didn't feel like I had anything that was worth talking about, or this like wisdom that I felt like came out of all these songs that I love so much. And so for a long time I felt like that was holding me back. And then I finally realized, as I got out on my own, that okay, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you've experienced, that you've learned is worthy of writing about. It's all going to be really messy coming out on the front end of it, but you learn how to kind of sift through thoughts and ideas, and as you develop as a writer, and it just kind of it starts coming and flowing easier. So it was when I finally got out on my own and was doing more real life grown up stuff that I really kind of found my voice as a songwriter.
Yeah, perfect. Well, there's always going to be a story out there, and it's always going to relate to somebody. Someone's going to relate to it in one way or another, so perfect. I love it.
Absolutely. And I just want to make a comment. I love your shirt. Willie should be president. I'm just saying.
It says Waylon for that too.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, even better.
I mean,
I think it's very appropriate in the cultural times we're in today.
Yes.
Perfect. I think we need to change the ballot and put him on there. Could you imagine it?
Yeah.
I think Dolly and Loretta, just if we're having 2 women, Dolly.
Yeah. Totally. There we go. Country music artist for Parliament, totally. That's the way to do it.
Exactly. I think it would be a lot nicer, at least.
Yes.
Respectful.
Yes.
Debate would probably be a lot more fun and just be in song.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Every meeting would be in song. That would be it. That'd be great. That would be
the best show.
That'd be great. I love that. I love that. Everybody would be into politics then, because it'd be so much more fun than what it is now. Totally. Okay, so quick fire questions. Okay, dead easy. First thing that comes to your mind. They're a lot of fun. So, early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Perfect. Beach or countryside?
Beach. Yeah.
Favorite
I'm a warm weather girl.
yeah, definitely warm weather. Favorite season?
Summer.
Biggest fear?
Oh gosh. Not living up to people's expectations, which is such a bad thing to say.
Because that's a hard thing to live up to. It's a hard thing to reach, you know.
It is, and it's probably not healthy, but that is the truth.
We're always honest here. Favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving, actually.
Ah, that's a different one.
I like that.
I love it. I feel like
Thanksgiving's.
it has all the sentiment for Christmas for me, but just without the stress of having to buy gifts and decorate.
Mhm.
I just love being able to gather around a table with family and friends, and food is one of my love languages, so Thanksgiving is number one at the top of my list.
Perfect. I love it. And favorite drink?
Red wine.
Red wine. There you go. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
So if you were a musical, what musical would you be?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really not a musical, like High School Musical.
Oh my God. That's just
Not a good answer.
It's definitely showing the age difference here. High School Musical. Wow.
Yeah.
It depends. Is it 1, 2, or 3? Which one is it?
I love one of my favorite movies is Mamma Mia, and I think you can consider that a musical. So
Mhm.
Oh, that's amazing. Mamma Mia rocks. That's just
Yes.
I've seen it so many times. It's just perfect.
I know it gets better every time.
It does. It does for sure.
It does.
We'll agree with you on that. If you
Yes.
were a film genre, what would you be?
Comedy.
Nice.
I hate scary stuff.
So Halloween's definitely
yes.
out.
Yeah, no, that's why Halloween is at the bottom of my list of holidays.
Oh. So if you were a Disney character, what Disney character would you be?
Oh, Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Just walking around,
yes. I love
just doing whatever. Yeah, Stitch.
Yes, Stitch is amazing. I love that.
If you could be a mythical creature, what creature would you be?
Oh, these are hard.
I get to ask all the hard ones.
Yeah, but they're fun. They're different. Nobody asks these questions. We ask these questions.
Most of them. What's the one that's like half horse and half human?
Oh, the Centaur. Is that right?
That
There
one.
you go.
Yep.
There you go. Perfect. I love it.
Okay, so if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Wow, the word just slipped my mind. The thing where you can like instantly be somewhere in a second. Teleportation. There we go. That's one. Teleportation, just because I feel like I'm really bad about having FOMO. And so it's always between either being able to be in two places at once or teleportation, just so I could quickly go back and forth. But I think the mental strain of being in two places at once would be too much for me to deal with. So just to be able to go back and forth.
Perfect. I love that. Teleportation. That would be great, especially during quarantine, because you could just bounce home, do whatever, bounce back to Nashville, do whatever, and then bounce back again. It'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect. Okay, now this is the most important question. My iPad just locked me. The most important question. Okay, this is it. The ultimate one. Who is your favorite CWC host?
I'm not choosing that. I'm out.
I love that. Everybody's like, what the hell?
No, I know who my favorite guest would be, and it's me.
That's a great answer. Who's your favourite guest? Yes, I love that. We love to throw that question in because the look on people's faces like,
Yeah, no, that's like, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, well then I'll change the subject and ask one more question. If you could co-write with anyone right now, who would it be?
Lori McKenna.
Oh, one of my
Hands
favorites
down.
too. Yes.
She is a songwriting genius, and I strive to one day be able to write half the songs that she has.
Perfect, perfect. So when you go in to write a song, do you have an idea of a song, or do you just go in and see what happens?
Kind of a mix of both. So my phone is always full of lines or titles to a song, or just some ideas, and they're all very jumbled because that's the songwriter in me. But I'm being a very OCD person and a type A person. I like to go into things at least with some sort of idea of whether it's just a mood of a song that I want to write today, or an idea for a melody or something, just because I kind of like to have an idea of where it's going to go. But I mean, I'm very much a person who believes in the power of the room and what's going on, whether that's, being face to face in person or these days over Zoom, but just talking with the person and figuring out, how their life is these days and what's going on, and being sensitive towards that. And I feel like conversation will kind of steer you in the direction of where, the song of the day needs to go. And so it's kind of a mixture of both.
Perfect. I've always wondered how they do it. Do you just sit in the room and it's, a few drinks, few this or whatever, or do you actually, is there a whole thought process behind it, sort of thing? So,
Yeah, it all just depends on the day. And it depends on who you're writing with, too.
That's perfect. So do you find that certain people you'll write more sort of maybe faster songs with than other people, or is it just a mix of whatever?
Yeah, probably. And maybe not as much so with tempo as it is of, I know people that I write really well love songs with. And I know people that I write, all of my I hate you breakup songs with. And I know people who I write, woman empowerment songs with. And so there's different people that I've written with before that I just kind of know that they're my go-to for, okay, I have this idea and I need help on developing it or figuring out where it's going to go from here. And that always changes with new people that I'm writing with, but there's definitely a picking and choosing in that.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Because I mean, obviously from a fan's point of view and someone who's never written a song ever, it's good for people to understand how the artist figures this out and how they, how the whole process works. It's cool.
Yeah, well, and I think the whole craft of songwriting is just such an intriguing thing, and I'm so captivated by it and listening to podcasts all the time because, I'm in my own little songwriting world, but I know that there's millions of other songwriters out there who do things completely different. And so it's just really cool to hear from, all different levels of songwriters and different genres and, everything, how their process looks like. And I'm always learning from them as well.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's great.
Sounds like fun, actually.
Songwriting been anything you do in life, just always learn something new from someone else, because that's how we grow as people.
Yeah.
Perfect. So do you write better? So obviously your writing groups, are they all like a mixture of male and female, or is it just?
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
No worries, that's fine. Your writing groups, are they always a mixture of male and female, or?
No, not always. Like I said, if I'm going in and I'm going to write like a woman empowerment song, I feel like only women really know how to do that. I'm not going to go into a room with guys because guys don't understand us. Let's be honest.
I love that.
So something like that, or if it's like a really personal love song where I need another female to bounce off like emotion feelings from, then I'm just going to go into, all women. if it's something, if I have in mind that I'm wanting to maybe not write for myself, but write for another artist, and that artist may be a guy, then, I would want another guy on the right just to kind of get in that man space head and be able to bounce off and say, like, is this actually something that, you as a man would say or think? And so you kind of have to get those perspectives in there.
Yeah, so it really is a pick and choose and make sure you get the right people for the right song, because obviously if it's not quite right, it may not have the right feeling or emotion or idea behind it.
Yeah.
It's quite cool. I love that. Perfect. So what else have you got? What have you got coming up for 2021? What is next year? What year is next year? 2020. I have major problems with
these days. It's a toss up as to like, what am I eating for supper tonight and what am I doing 5 months from now? It's all equivalent at this point. No, so I'm excited with the single that came out a few weeks ago. We actually have a music video for it, and so it's going to be coming out in the middle of November, which I'm really excited about. And I'm also working right now on some Christmas stuff that I'm really, really pumped about. I've never released any kind of Christmas things before, and so this is a whole new venture for me, but I'm really excited to be able to do that. So trying to get in that mode with doing that. And then, 2021 is just as much of a toss-up for me as anybody else. I have hopes for playing new shows, and I've been talking with different people, but, nobody can really set in stone if anything's going to be able to happen, because we don't know what's going to ensue with the virus and everything else. So I'm trying not to get my hopes up, because I am very much a person to, like, once I have an idea in my head, I will take it and run as fast as I can. So I'm trying to restrain myself in getting too excited about anything before I know that it's, actually going to happen. But I also feel like these days we just need something to look forward to and something to get excited about every once in a while. So what the heck? Why not?
Go for it. So this new Christmas album, can we have a hint? Are they going to be original songs, or are they going to be possible remakes?
Yeah, so we're just doing one song. I was like, okay, this year's been a lot. I don't think I can handle a whole album. But it's going to be actually a remake. I grew up listening, like I said, to a lot of old country, but also a lot of bluegrass. And so Patty Loveless is one of my favorite people. And it's actually a remake of one of her songs that's very, very bluegrassy. So I'm really excited about it.
Blood on December. We can get this new song. Perfect.
We're looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
Totally. Patty Loveless is one of the first artists that I fell in love with. And she was just absolutely amazing. It's
insane.
So.
I mean, I've been listening back to all of her older stuff, and, as going through all of this, I'm like, God, it's stupid how good she is.
Yeah, she was just absolutely amazing. So yeah, I absolutely loved her. I fell in love with Reba, then Patty Loveless, and then of course there was a whole flow of, Martina McBride, Terry Clark, and it's just these amazing, powerhouse women who just, blown up the charts. So yeah, perfect.
It's not fair.
You'll be up there. You'll have your name in lights, and it'll be just like Reba and all the rest of them. Totally.
That's the goal. That is the goal. But until then, I'm perfectly fine just standing in awe of all those women. They deserve every bit of it.
Perfect. Yeah, they are absolutely amazing. So, but every woman who comes through the ranks is paving the way for the next generation. So, the more women we can promote, the more women we can get on the radio, the more women can come through and follow in the footsteps of everybody else. So,
yes.
We're here for.
Yes.
Absolutely, increase women airplay. Let's go.
Yes.
Preach. This is it. We're gonna get
radio stations are gonna hate me soon, but that's okay.
This is bloody when we get us a bloody phone. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Totally.
It's fine.
Fantastic. We'll show the world women are better than men. We can hit a powerhouse song as good as any bloke out there. So you know.
Absolutely. And the thing is we're not asking to be better. We're just asking to be equal. That is literally all.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not asking for anything more than what, you know, you deserve, sort of thing. And you deserve the same as the men. So, you know, we'll get there. We will get there. We'll show the world. Totally. It's been absolutely amazing meeting you, Paige. It's been great fun talking to you. So yeah, good luck for the future. Look forward to hearing the new singles, and hopefully 2021 we can start getting people on the road and seeing more, you know, more people on tour and everything else. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, I know. Fingers crossed. Yes. Praying all the prayers.
We have everything crossed for good 2021.
Yeah, it can only go up from here.
Yeah. We can't get any further down. I think we're at the ultimate low now, so yeah, we have to go up from here too.
Well, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries. Oh, anytime. And hopefully the new year we'll be able to have you back on again, and we can see what we can do from there.
I would love that.
Perfect.